Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling, magic Monday. How magical has your day been? What steps did you take towards your dreams, your goals? What's magical stuff happened in your day to day? Please, please let us know because we like celebrating magical moments. I've had an incredible day. Another module bit the dust. Yes. So I'm now on to the next module. This one is all about, what's this one all about? It's all about some of these skills that you need as a genealogist. So things like analytical thinking and analytical, analytical thinking skills and critical thinking skills and research and a knowledge of history, a general knowledge of history, not a specific, unless you're specifying in one, unless you're going to specialize in a particular area. But it has been a great day. First, before we get into everything else, I have to give a huge shout out to my friend Kathy Baxter, who is in Canada, for sending me this awesome journal. And look on the snap. Whoops, hang on. It's got my name. But how cool is that? She sent me this journal. I love, love, love journals. I'm very much a pen and paper person, and I love these ones because you can personalize the cover on them. You can personalize the snap. As you can see, my name is on the snap. Most important thing is that somebody can hear. The sweetest sound to anybody is their own name. So this is really, really cool. Thank you so much, Kathy, for that, because that gives me, and because it's themed, I know exactly what I'm going to be using it for come January 1st. So that was a beautiful surprise to get in the mail today. I love surprises like that. And I know there's people out there who have sent me stuff, and you've probably sent it to my California addresses, and I am getting my mail shipped out to me within the next 2 weeks, and then I'll do another one in December while I'm still here, because I'm here at this location until January 1st. So if you have sent me something and it's gone to the California address, please know that it is probably still sitting there, and I will probably do a reveal when I get my mail forwarded to me. So we had another module, Bite the Dust, today, and I love this piece. There was one piece where I was reading it. There's so much good information in here, but they really do need somebody to proofread. I don't know how many times or how many people saw this manual before it got printed, before it got published, but there was one paragraph I just read it and went, what? And then I went back and read it again, and I still went, what? And then I read it out loud, and I went, okay, kind of get it now, but it was so much in a circle, around a circle, and I was like, okay. And then I remembered the posting that my friend Casey put up, and this is something he has always taught us, is that if you cannot explain your business to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand your own business. And so it's got to be able to be explained simply. And there's a few paragraphs in here where even when I slowed down my reading and even read it out loud, because sometimes if I read it out loud, it sounds a little better than when I'm just reading it with my eyes. And so I'm sitting there, I'm even like with my finger along the line, and I am reading it out loud to make sure that everything I'm catching every word along the thing, all the commas, all the exclamation points, etc., all the punctuation, putting the correct pauses in there and everything else. And I still got the end of it and went, what? So there is some stuff in here that they have written that is so roundabout, turned around and twisted that even me couldn't understand it. I kind of knew what they were talking about, but the way they explained it was, yeah. So if you cannot explain your business to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand your own business. Think about that. I thought that was really powerful, and because my grandson turned 6 in February, so I figured, let's see if I can get him to understand genealogy. Wouldn't that be cool? But one of the paragraphs that I got in here was kind of cool. It's about developing your analytical thinking skills. And it said here, being analytical means being able to see connections among seemingly unrelated elements. Solving a Sudoku puzzle is an example of analytical skills in action. So is solving just about any other type of puzzle. An ability to solve logic puzzles easily can certainly help you in your genealogical work, mainly because it represents the ability to make logical connections. And I have always loved puzzles, being that crossword word search. Yeah, I do those, but they kind of bore me. But other ones, they're like crossword puzzles. My favorite is cryptic crosswords. If you don't know what those are, they really twist your brain. They like each clue. No clue is as it should be. So based on how the clue is written and certain keywords within the clue, tells you whether there is a word in there that you got to mix the letters up to get the answer. That you've got to sound. Then you may have to sound out a couple of words to get the actual word. There's different. The clues are written in really bizarre ways. So you read the clue and you're like, what? But then you've got to analyze the clue to find the clue within the clue to solve the puzzle. So they have different keywords that when they make cryptic crosswords, that have certain keywords that they put into a clue that tells you if you've got to take if you've got to join two words together and maybe take those middle letters out of there. So it could be taking the last two letters of one word with the first three letters of the next word to get the 5-letter answer. It could be that you've got to sound out the clue because the way two words run together is the answer, and then you've got to spell it out correctly. So I love cryptics. I love cryptics. Also love logic puzzles. Where you've got to figure out you've got the 5 people over here, and each person has here's their first names, here's the 5 first names, here's the 5 last names, here's their 5 occupations, here's the 5 days of the week that they have, where they each have an off day. They're all different days, and you've got to figure out which first name goes with which last name, with which occupation, and which day of the week they have off. I love those types of puzzles. So I'm always using my analytical thinking skills with puzzles. If you look up in one of my cabinets up there, one of my baskets up there is just full of puzzle books, and they're the ones that have the variety of puzzles in them. So because I like variety, I like variety. And then there's the puzzles within the puzzles. So there's the one where you solve the crossword skills, but then you have to fit it into a grid, so that when the grid, when you add up each line of the grid straight down or straight across, you get the same score all the way around. Each line equals the same, and the clue number is the number that goes into the grid. So not only do you have to solve the clue, you've got to figure out where in the grid it goes and make sure that everything adds up correctly. So a puzzle within a puzzle. So absolutely love puzzles within puzzles. And my dog is sitting here going, please come play with me. Oh, she got me her Kong. There you go. She loves playing with her Kong. She's so funny today because I like going up to her when she's on her bed on the windowsill, and just with her laying there, just give her some scratches and all of that sort of thing. And today, for some reason, as soon as she saw me coming, she runs down there and just sits there on the floor. So I walk up to her to give her some scratches, and she runs away from me. I'm like, what the heck is going on with you? So I sit down in the chair, tell her to come front, and she just backs up and lays down. I'm like, what is going on? So I get up and walk towards her, and she ran into the bedroom, and I'm like, this is weird. So I eventually picked her up and put her on the bed and said, all I wanted was to give you a hug and give you some scratches. And so I did that, and I thought, I'm going to try my singing exercise, because we're trying to work on a duet. You going to do your duet with me now? Oh, she looks away. So we're trying to work on a duet. So I'm trying to teach her a song, which when she starts doing her whining and her loud whines and things, gives us, it's hilarious, but you're trying to be serious at the same time. It's a lot of fun with her. And so I was holding the note, my mouth was open. The next thing, her tongue, she brings her tongue's out to give me a kiss and ends up going in my mouth, and I'm like, so yes, that's the first time her tongue in the last year in the year that I've had her, that her tongue has ended up in my mouth accidentally. And so I was sort of like, yeah. A few drinks of water later. But yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun with her, doing a lot of different training and things with her, and trying to do a few minutes each day with her on being consistent with the training and everything else. And some days she gets it, and other days she's sort of like, I don't want to do this. And I'm sort of like, then you're not getting a treat. But she still wants her treat. I says, then you do what I ask you to do and you'll get your treat. She's like a kid at times. I tell you, it's fun. It's awesome. So that's it for us for today. We've got another module down in the thing, so I have 3 modules left to do. So I'm kind of banging these modules out because I really want to get this sewn up as quickly as I possibly can. And they're also throughout the whole things again. If you want to know more about this, go read this book. And one of them they're talking about in this chapter is is relationship skills and all of that, and they recommend to go read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I thought, awesome, they're recommending good books. That's all. That's good. We'll just keep reading here, even if they do confuse me at times with their paragraph. I just hope there's no question in the module about that confusing paragraph. That's all I hope in the module test. But so that's it from me for today. Hope you've had a super fantastic, sparkling, magical Monday. Yes, Monday. I'm going to go take Zeffie for a walk now. You want to go for a walk? Well, that got her attention. Now she's not sure what to do. I love it when she has to stop and think. Are you practicing your critical analyzing skills? Yes, no, maybe? Oh, okay. But one thing I did learn about today was different areas of speciality within genealogy. So like any business, genealogy has specialty fields. Like when I was doing travel, you could specialize in a destination, you could specialize in a type of trip, like if you could specialize in weddings and destination weddings and honeymoons, you could specialize in groups, you could specialize in golf tours, wine tours, all of that sort of stuff. You could specialize in individual travel, you could specialize in groups, you could specialize by destinations. In genealogy, you also have specialties as well. So you could be a specialist on the Civil War, for example. You could be a DNA specialist. And I was looking at that today. I actually watched a video earlier this morning on a guy that is one of these the DNA genealogist. And he was talking about, I got a little lost on what he was talking about, he was talking about the accuracy of these DNA tests when you're trying to find the relatives and things, like the 23andMe and the Ancestry.com and all that, how accurate are they? And I was surprised at the amount of accuracy that there is in some areas, but then he would break each thing that he talked about down into 3 areas. And if you're up here, you've got a 0.5% chance of an error. But the further out you go, so for those that are within your parents, aunts, uncles, siblings, first cousins, to second cousins, there's like a 0.5% chance of an error within that, with the DNA results. And but he says if most of the time if there is an error in the DNA results, it's due to procedures. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool to know. And a lot of times with the DNA results, they'll come back and say, hey, we've had a procedural error on this one. We're going to rerun the tests again. That they are very forthcoming with that information. So it was interesting learning that, and about how some chromosomes will change during times, but there is just that one chain that they focus on for the genealogy DNA that never ever changes through all the generations that strand of DNA has been passed down through, and that's when they look at where your ancestry came from. That DNA chain never ever changes. It is consistent through all generations, and that's how they can figure out your ancestry as doing a continental thing. On the continental, they said on the massive overview for the continental area of where you came from, there's a 0.5% chance of an error. Then if you get down to a village or a town, you can have massive errors on that one, because the testing is just not available for us to get that specific right now. And even getting down to countries, there can be some room. There's a little more room for error in that one. But I thought it was interesting, so it's kind of cool. It's interesting listening to that video. I'm going to go back and watch it again and take some notes on it this time, because I need to be at least conversant in DNA, DNA when it comes to genetics, with genealogy. And my dog's about to get whacked on the head with a broom that's about to fall over on her. Oh no, she was wise enough to get out. All I could see was this broom handle just slowly coming like this, and she was pulling at something that was making it fall, and then when it got to a certain point, she just ran away, and it's now safely on the floor. So I was doing some sweeping earlier. But anyway, that's it from us for today. Have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your evening. I'm off to take the dog for a walk. I'm going to be back online in about 30 to 40 minutes. And so we will catch you tomorrow for Tune Up Tuesday. Hek konera.